Hello, good day, and welcome. This video contains spoilers about Xenoblade Chronicles. This video will cover various themes present in Xenoblade Chronicles. In this video, I will present examples that provide explanations for the themes I mentioned. Such examples will include spoilers. No DLC or post-credit content added to the definitive edition of the game will be talked about in this video, so Xenoblade Chronicles feature connected will not be discussed in this video. I will cover as many themes as I am able to think about, so I may miss some. Now let us move on to the focus of the video, the themes found in Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition. The themes span from the positive and lighthearted to the negative and quite serious, and the order they are presented will be so. Love triumphs. Whatever is done for love always occurs beyond good and evil. Friedrich Nietzsche. Love transcending or rising above the concept of good and evil can be seen in the video game titled Xenoblade Chronicles, be it Shulk going on a dangerous journey to fight the Mechon and get revenge for the death of his love interest and childhood friend Fiora, or Charla fighting for her thought-to-be-dead beloved fiancé Godot to set him free from the control of the Machina and Mechons. Their love for each other pushes them to rise above and overcome dangerous situations they face. Another type of love that surpasses the powerful forces of the world is family love. Shadow's love for her brother Juju and Dunban's love for his sister Fiora are sources of inspiration and motivation for Charla and Dunban to fight against their perceived enemies. Parental love for their children and a child's love for their parents motivates one of the protagonists to fight with all her might against being several planes of existence and scales of power above her, i.e., Melia. Love triumphing over the good and evil concepts and the concepts of good and the good and evil going on in the world is just one theme found in Xenoblade Chronicles. Another theme is friendships. Due to history or circumstance, many of the main party members, guest party members, and other secondary characters develop camaraderie and friendships with each other. In Xenoblade Chronicles, Shulk, Rhine, Fiora, and Dunban were childhood friends who grew up and interacted with each other in Colony 9. Later on their journey for revenge for Fiora's apparent death, to discover more about the Monado, and to fight the Mechon, Shulk, Rhine, and Dunban encounter and meet others that will join their party for their own personal gain or reason. Charlotte joins the party to potentially destroy all the Mechon that have terrorized the people of her colony, harmed her fiancé Godot, and kidnapped her brother Juju. Melia joins the party after being saved by them, after being attacked by Teletia, hoping to pay them back, fight the Mechon, and potentially spend more time with Shulk. Melia joins the group on their journey to discover the truth of the world and fight the Mechons. Ricky, a Nopon who owed a lot of money to the inhabitants of Frontier Village, joined Shulk and the party to slay Teletias to repay the debt. Spending time with Shulk and others led to the connection between Ricky and the group to develop and a friendship to grow. In Xenoblade Chronicles, friendship is a motivator for their journeys and or a product of it. Enemies to friends and friends to enemies. Friends or enemies? That is a question that is difficult for the protagonist of Xenoblade Chronicles to answer, because who is truly a friend or an enemy if the conflicts going on in the world are created and manipulated by a self-proclaimed god that hides in the background for the majority of the game's story? There are instances where perceived enemies become allies and perceived allies reveal themselves as enemies to the protagonist of the game. Ejo, Mainef, and Vanilla are Machina, who Shulk and the group meet either in Bionis or on Mechonis. Coming to learn about the lives of the Machina, Shulk decides to work together with the Machina to stop the conflict between the inhabitants of both Titans and achieve world peace. However, Dixon, a supposed friend of the group, shoots Shulk on the back and reveals himself to be the right-hand man of Zanza. As Sansa's right-hand man, he did what he could to free Sansa from the Monado so that Sansa could remake the world and consume the energy from the inhabitants of the Bionis to live on forever. Dixon spent years watching and helping Shulk grow because he cares not because he cares so much about him, but to keep an eye on the vessel of Sansa's spirit, who was in the same village as the Monado, Sansa's weapon. Other examples include Godot, Charlotte's former fiancé, and Mumkar, a soldier and inhabitant of Colony 9 that, according to Dunban, was supposed to be his friend, but who in reality hated Dunban a lot. fate versus free will, and finding the purpose in love and in life. Denying fate and embracing free will is at the core of Xenoblade Chronicles. Shulk and friends in Xenoblade Chronicles denied the idea that the world was destined to repeatedly recreate itself to sustain Sansa for all eternity. They decided that the people living in the world and their lives mattered much more than the god, and that their lives should not be controlled by that self-proclaimed god. They thought that they shouldn't be sacrificial pawns for this god that gave himself the title. So they took matters in their own hands, fought Sansa, destroyed Sansa, and let the world live without a god and be free to live life like they wanted to. Taking matters into their own hands is an action that shows the protagonist of Xenoblade Chronicles having found a purpose in life. The protagonist of the games, specifically this one, Xenoblade Chronicles, decided to take actions and do something about their situations in their lives and about the state in the world around them. For a reason, in other words, for an underlying purpose. The purpose the protagonists have for their actions in the game evolves as they meet new individuals and get into new situations. In the first half of Xenoblade Chronicles, Shulk determines that his purpose in life is to avenge Fiora's death, understand the power of the Monado, and defeat the Mechon. Later on, in the second half of the game, when Shulk discovers that Sansa is the one responsible for all the pain going on in the world, Shulk decides that his purpose is to challenge Sansa, defeat him, and liberate the world from a god that has caused them so much pain. Melia's purpose in life also changes throughout the game. When first meeting Melia Antiqua, you discover that she is a princess, the princess of the High Ancia, a species in Xenoblade Chronicles. Her purpose in life is to serve her people and do the duties of a princess. After her people are harmed by Sansa and his minions, Melia decides on a new purpose in life, which is to save her people, fight for them, defeat Sansa, and create a new world where all living beings can live alongside each other with respect. Life and death, war and its consequences. War is in constant progression throughout Xenoblade Chronicles. Life is affected by it, and it is a common cause of death of inhabitants on the Bionis and Mechonis. People in the world are constantly on edge, waiting in fear for the beginning of a new conflict to emerge. This constant fear sooner or later turns into reality, leading to the deaths of various people involved in the conflicts, such as for Shulk and Dunban, who saw their home Colony 9 be destroyed by Mechons, and Fiora being harmed in the process. The potential in the loss of life leads many characters to appreciate life and the time they have, while also leading others to take drastic measures to prevent their deaths from occurring. For example, in Xenoblade Chronicles, Sansa had creatures on Bionis, including homes, be sacrificed in order to send their life force to Sansa so he could keep on living forever, and have the universe restart over and over again to ensure that he stays alive for eternity. The fear of change in the world, of the end of the world, and the end of life drove many people in Xenoblade Chronicles to do whatever they could to prevent it, even becoming divine or superhuman beings. Humanoids becoming gods, acceptance or regret. Many antagonists in Xenoblade Chronicles took any means necessary to become superhumans or godlike beings. Some accepted becoming a superhuman or godlike being, finding pleasure in it, while others felt burdened by their circumstances. Sansa and Munkar are two antagonists who felt pleasure in attaining power and becoming godlike or superhuman beings. The desire for power and belief that they are better than others led them to take drastic measures to become powerful beings. Sansa, for example, used the conduit to recreate the world and become a god, while Munkar became a semi-Mechon without any resistance to the thought. Fiora, on the other hand, felt terrible becoming semi-Mechon, like a machina. It negatively affected how she viewed herself and her thoughts on how Shulk sees her. Humanists becoming godlike beings is a theme present in Xenoblade Chronicles. Those were all the themes and examples I was able to get from my replay of and deep thoughts on Xenoblade Chronicles. If I missed any themes or any examples that could have been used to explain the themes mentioned in the video, please let me know in the comments. If you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe if you would like to. If you would like to see this type of video expanded to including the entire trilogy of games, so that examples from those games are talked about as explanations for the themes in the series, please let me know. Take care and goodbye.